Well, good afternoon.
Hey folks.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Well, this evening we have a panel. The first session is going to be on real estate. We have so many people out there looking to buy and to rent, and we know in this market this is a rental market. So we have an expert. Some people know him as Dr. Love. Others know him as the guy who makes things happen in the real estate industry.
Yes.
So, how you doing, sir?
Doing well yourself?
Tell us what's going on.
Well, I'm a licensed realtor. I go by the name of Franz from the Palm Beach area. Basically, for this entire year, I've been putting myself out there as a licensed realtor, and for people looking to own a home or rent, the main things that I look for when it comes to a client, is to see what they're looking for and to see if they're educated on what they want. When it comes to whether it's a rental or a house, very first thing is credit. Credit, income, and depending on where you want to live at, that's what we have to look at next. And then whether it's you wanting a house or you wanting to rent someplace, then I would sit down with you, really see where you're at. And then if you, for example, you want to rent an apartment, then I need to see what your credit's like, what your history's like, your income, how stable are you, and then where you want to live, because credit is a factor. Credit is a factor because it tells people that, or it tells people if they can trust you. Income is also a factor because they want to know if you have stable work history for at least 2 years, and then they want to know how your background is because they need to see if you're a good person, if you do work, and if you have good credit history. And if all those things line up, then it's going to reflect positively when you go to look for a place to live, and it shows the owner or the landlord, if you will, that you're responsible and you're reliable. Now, on the other end, if you're looking for a house to buy, then I need to know where your credit's at. Same thing, but when it comes to a house, it's more in depth, because some places have HOAs, some places don't, and you really need to ask yourself if you are ready to buy a house, because a house is different from an apartment, because a house you deal with everything. Everything is your responsibility, from the roof to the grass, to the exterior, the interior, the landscape, everything. And then once you know if you want to buy a house, then you have to go and get pre-qualified. The pre-qualification process is basically you going to a lender of your choice and seeing who will approve you, and they'll look at your work history, your credit, and they'll also check your front and back end ratio.
So, in other words, you're telling them when he's come to buy a house, the person, the first thing the person needs to do before he goes to see a realtor, he needs to go see a loan officer or in a bank or
Yes.
a licensed mortgage broker.
Yes.
So they have to fill out the application called 1003. Am I correct?
I believe so. I
The
don't have
1003.
Mhm.
1003. After they fill out the 1003, and the process, they have to get what you call it, a pre-qualified, send it to you. So therefore now you know exactly, okay, this guy is ready or this lady is ready to buy the house.
Correct.
Okay.
Shopping.
Now I'd like to ask this beautiful young lady next to us, next to you.
Yes.
Give her the microphone, please. Now, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
She got a beautiful smile too.
Thank you very much. Quick question. What is the difference between a rental and a house?
Quick question. What is the difference between a rental and a house?
Rental and a house.
Quick questions. let's say if you want to buy a house or a rent an apartment, in your mind, what the first thing will you do if you want to rent an apartment?
I'd say I will have to save some money.
Okay, that's good.
Right?
Hmm.
I will need to have a list of what I need in my house or in the place that I want to rent.
So that's when you don't fill up your place. You want to know, based on what you say, you need to know how much furniture, how many pieces that you're gonna
like
need.
how many rooms and if there is any neighborhood that I wanted.
Okay, you want to make sure there's a safe neighborhood. If you have children, you're going to find out if the school is the neighborhood, the school in the neighborhood is the A school, and also pretty much would you want to know the crime rate there? Checking with the local sheriff department or police department to see exactly what's going on. Am I right?
Yes.
And now, will you take in consideration also places such as shopping center, entertainment, how far you want to live next to a gas station? Do you take all these things in consideration?
Well, I think the first thing will have to be that it fits my budget, and then all those extra things.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's good. Well, when you do that, that's very, very important. As DT mentioned, once you do that, all the extra stuff is very, very, very important because to me, you don't want to travel too far. Like, hey, you know what? Grocery shopping, gas station, schools. You know what I mean? You have kids, don't have kids. All these things are vital to your home as far as where you want to live. And after you do that, what's your next step afterwards? As far as, hey, you know what, you can afford it, you know what I mean? And now you see that, now you see, hey, you know what, I want a 1-1 or a 2-2, or how would you figure out if you need a 1-1 or a 2-2? I mean, do you have kids or no kids?
Yeah, that depends on the people that I live with. So it's basically, and I also come from a big family, so I like big places.
Oh, okay.
I also like to have a guest room, so I like to have guests.
Okay.
And
you know what she said? People will have big family like they love to cook.
Yeah.
You know, anytime we see there's
kitchen
cooking,
is very important.
see, that's it. See?
And it's the social place of the house.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody meets in the kitchen.
Especially, we love
It
to
has
eat.
to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We love to eat. Any there's food somewhere, we have to go.
Yeah.
But thinking about it,
Yes.
you are an artist.
Yes.
Okay, like someone you say you are a rapper. That's what they say.
Yes.
This guy,
Artists. I prefer artists.
Okay, now someone I know you guys when it's come to get a place, you guys you want to be like big.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what is your dream house?
My dream house is where my son would mostly like. I'm going to let him take charge of it because he's my pride and joy. He's 13. But he would like his own room, his own freedom and everything. And, so it's going to be somewhere like 5 or 6 bedroom.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Port St. Lucie.
There's a potential talent there.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as an artist, I know you would love to, you like to entertain your guests.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you looking for you to have your man cave?
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to have that. Me and my son, we play basketball together and everything. So we're going to have a lot of manly type stuff. It's still going to be woman friendly on my end. On his end, it's going to be all manly stuff, But yes, I'm gonna have like a man cave and have all the things like probably Bruce Lee movies and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about a big, you're talking to have your mini movie theater.
Right, exactly.
With surround sound.
Right. Oh yeah.
Do you have a pen, man? Are you taking notes? You are the realtor. You are the expert.
Oh, you're talking.
No, listen. I know we have people who's watching all over.
Yeah.
If someone wants to get in touch with you, okay, someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best number for them to contact you?
Okay. All right. This is Franz, the realtor again. If anybody out there is listening closely and intently, the number to reach me is 561, and that's a local number, 561-255-4244. Again, that's 561-255-4244. Or you can reach me at franzbenjamin@yahoo.com, and I'll spell it. That's FranzBenjamin. Again.
Oh my goodness. Is
Robert.
there someone behind you, man?
No.
Go slow down.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll do that. Frank, Robert, Ann, Nancy, Tom, Zebra, Benjamin, BenjaMin @yahoo.com.
I'm glad you didn't say bravo.
No.
Like he's at the military code.
Alpha.
Alpha.
But you can call me anytime, text me anytime, email me anytime with your I guess concerns. If you're interested, let me know. If you call me up and I don't pick up, text me. I get back to you ASAP.
Yeah, I have another question, not for you, sir. For this psychologist doctor.
There you go.
Okay, she knows when I call her.
If it's about real estate.
No, hold on, no. What I want to know, I mean, the gentleman saying that for someone to buy or rent a house, mentally you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
You have to be ready, especially if you want to buy a house. Mentally, because when you rent a place, if something breaks down, you have to get called the landlord.
Yep.
Now you become your own landlord.
Yep.
And now, when he mentioned about someone has to be ready mentally, okay, what does it mean? Based on your field. Okay, by the way, can you tell people who you are?
Sure.
That's why one of the reasons when they say that, I call you doctor. So they know why I'm picking on you.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
I know you're not a doctor. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Cindy. I'm a Colombian licensed psychologist.
It's licensed shrink.
No.
I'm just checking. I don't know.
No, in Colombia we have licensed
Okay.
psychologists.
Psychologist. So that's mean I can sit down, lay down on the couch, tell you all what bothering me.
You could if I do clinical psychology, which I don't.
You don't. Now, in your field, when you say licensed psychology, what do you perform? You mean are you? If I have an issue, I can tell you, well, Sandy, guess what? I don't feel too good. I want to do this. I want to do that. I have a plan. You're going to be my cheerleader? She said, yes, you can do it, baby.
No, I actually work with human development and coaching. So I do life and executive coaching.
When you say human development, what do you mean?
Well, the human as human being, with values, with dreams, with ideals, with flow, with all the activities that are around the human being that make people different from each other.
So that's means someone like me, I came from outer space. Okay, I'm an alien. Now I come to this planet Earth, and I want to participate. I mean, not participate. I show up and say, hey, I'm from out of space. I'm an alien, and the Earth people, I want to be like you guys. So what do I need to do for me to be like you?
Well,
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like her already.
Actually, that is a fascinating topic.
Whoa.
Because that is what engineers and all these people who knows a lot about robotics are
Mhm.
trying to do. And hopefully they won't. Because the day that a robot can be a human, then
So in other words, this is the
For
part.
us.
That's what this is.
there
Your part.
there is something that makes us different from robots
Okay.
or from any other, and that's our human condition.
Hmm.
It's so complex that I couldn't be able to explain it,
Hmm.
especially because I kind of in a hurry today. But
Well,
it's so
why
complex.
women always say they always say they're in a hurry? What's up with that?
Well, they're busy making money.
Yeah.
No, he's not busy making money. He
Oh.
just like say, I'm busy. I'm got a hot date.
There you go.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
You are something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to stay and talk about it, but I can't.
That's right. Okay. Now, the question. There's another thing. This gentleman, Mr. Tiki Ben, this is for you, sir.
Mhm.
And he pretty much tell you that he's an artist.
Mhm.
He has big dream, and he tell you that he's looking for 5-bedroom houses,
Mhm.
and at the same time, he wants to have a caveman. He wants to have his own cave,
Okay.
but at the same time, he told you that his son. He mentioned everything's for his son. That to show you his first priority is for his son.
Definitely.
And he told you he liked to spend time with his son
Mhm.
by saying that he loves to play basketball.
Mhm.
That's he talking me time with his son.
Yes.
Now, based on all this thing,
Mhm.
I didn't hear that you asked him if he wants to have a swimming pool, because those guys
Mhm.
they love to entertain women
Mhm.
by the swimming pool.
Mhm.
And do you need to ask him if he wants to have barbecue grill? Because if he doesn't have food, I won't come to his place.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. A client like that.
Mhm.
What type of questions? Because he may want 5-bedroom with his caveman.
Mhm.
Okay.
Man or man cave?
Man
A man cave. That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's what I'm
Gotta check, make sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's it. When he said there's another reason too, he may want to have his caveman.
Caveman, that's a good movie right there. I'll make a movie on a caveman. I'll make that. I write movies too. You know?
So some people really want something.
Mhm.
They want it, but do they really need it? As an expert,
Mhm.
how can you break it down? How can you find out someone someone like that come to you and say, "This is what I want"?
Mhm.
What exactly you going to do to find out what he need instead of what he wants?
Well, again, you have to go and get pre-qualified first. Once you get pre-qualified, that's when we sit down and talk business, because the pre-qual letter, or what have you, that's going to basically dictate where you can live. You know what I mean? And and when that happens, that's when we have to see if your income can match the house that you want to live, and you have to be able to differentiate your needs versus your wants. So get pre-qualified. That's the very first step.
Okay, so I like that. Let's say the person wants to be pre-qualified. You
Yes.
pre-qualify that person,
Yes.
but that still doesn't answer the question.
Mm-hmm. Well, you would have to get pre-qualified first. Once you get pre-qualified, that's when I can sit down with the individual and then really, not only with the individual, but their son as well too, because their son will speak into it. Because if he's putting his son first, that means that, hey, you know what, I need to, when we go house hunting, we need to make sure that his son's happy.
Yes.
Because his son is the one that's gonna, make the world go round.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And once his son's happy, then now it's time to find his man cave. We need to make sure that he has his man cave too.
Did you have a chance when someone say, I want to have my man cave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What type of questions do you need to ask that person so you make sure when you go house hunting what you need to have there? Because I understand that being a realtor is not an easy job.
Nope.
And some even say real estate is an art.
Well, I would say that if anyone gets into real estate, you have to have a passion for it. You can't get into it for money. You have to want it. You have to want it as bad as you need air.
Why?
Because it's something that you love to do. I have my professor once told me, chase your passion, not your pension. I'm chasing my passion.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between are we living right now in a rental market or a buying market? I
think rental market. Even though I don't have a lot of purchases or not one yet, I think rental. I say that because I run into a lot of people that are looking or they're curious to buy, but they have a rental state of mind, and they haven't, or they're still doing their homework, meaning they're perfecting their credit, they're fixing themselves in a sense of they want to make sure that they erase bad credit.
Let's say bad baggage.
Bad baggage.
Carrying.
Right.
Bad baggage is there. They were carrying themselves.
They're erasing that. They're saving some money. They're trying to get to a form of solidity in their life, if you will.
Now, please, I'm going to make it a statement. Please let me know if it's correct or not. I overheard that in order for you to, before you can purchase a house, you need to at least have 6 months worth of payment stock, and save somewhere in the bank before you know that you're ready to buy a house. Is that true or not?
I wouldn't know, but it might be true because I've had other realtor friends where they need the history there so that way they can verify it.
No,
it's verifiable.
But what I'm trying to say, for someone who never owned a house, never purchased a house, we know there's fear there, there's uncertainty. If someone come to you and say, I want to buy a house, after you check the credit and the income pretty much telling you that if the person can afford the house, I understand that the credit pretty much telling the lender if it's someone I can trust.
That's correct.
If this person is someone I can trust, if it's a trustworthy. And at the same time, and even sometimes the person may have a bad credit, that doesn't mean the person is not trustworthy.
Right.
Some people have bad credit. It could be something happening in their life. For example, a sickness. A family, one of the family member gets sick, and one has to leave the job to take care of the mother or the grandmother, the grandparents. So therefore, that or some of them they get layoffs or lost their job. So that doesn't mean that they're not trustworthy. I guess this question is for someone who does finance, for example, the mortgage broker.
Right.
So the realtor job, one of the reasons I'm saying that, I know this is a rentals market. Even the rental property, they're looking at people's credit
Yeah.
to make sure that are you someone responsible enough.
Right.
Not only that, when they check you, it's not only they check your credit, but they need to look at your past history rental. That's they ask you for a reference. Am I correct?
Correct.
So someone who wants to rent a place,
Mm-hmm.
they say, okay, Dr. Love, I'm going to call you. I need to rent a place. Okay, the first thing you're going to ask them, what? When was the last place they rent the place? Or you're going to ask them their credit, their income,
Yes. How
their
did you-
references?
Yeah. If they first come to me and say, hey, you know what, I'm looking to rent a place, then I'll ask them, you know, how's your credit, you know, and where do you want to live, and then thereafter that, if I see that they're serious, then I'll, you know, exchange contact information. I'll give them my card and see if I can set up a time and date where, you know, we can sit down and see exactly where you want to live, how much money you make, do you have evictions, you have kids, and, you know, so on. So that way I know where to look for you. Because once I know where to look for you, then I know what surrounding areas you want to live in, and then we can go to sending you listings.
Now, let's say someone comes to you and say that my credit score is 750.
Mm-hmm.
I make pretty much good income.
Mm-hmm.
I make like $60,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married. I make 60. My wife make 40.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 children. I like to rent a place.
Mm-hmm.
Would you remember the person has 750 credit,
Mm-hmm.
good income,
Right.
good employment, both of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to buy a place?
Mm-hmm.
Would you discourage them not to buy? Not to buy. They want to rent a place. Do you discourage them not to rent, or would you flip them to a buyer?
I would see I would ask questions first, and then I love black and white. I mean, you could say that your credit's 750, and you can say that you make this and that and forth.
Let's say, for example, they show you the 3 years income tax return, and they show you a copy of the fresh credit report that they pulled from all 3 credit bureaus,
Mhm.
Equifax, TransUnion, and Experience. They pull that. They show you they have 3 credit score, and the first one is 700. The second one, the middle, which is like 750.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is 715.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you encourage that person to buy, or would you educate the person? Say instead of renting, it will be in your best interest to rent. Would you do that?
I would encourage the person to buy, not to make money, but so that when you own something, instead of you making somebody else rich, make your own pocket rich.
Which, in other words, you're trying to say that when you rent, first of all, you're investing in on yourself, because you own a piece of property. When you rent, the landlord can increase your rent every year, and also on top of that, you're paying somebody else's mortgage while
Exactly.
you could pay your own mortgage. And a house is the biggest investment.
Absolutely.
Invested the rental is an investment. Would you agree, Mr. TK?
Yes, definitely. That is one of the better ways of doing it. Because once you invest in a home like that, you get a lot back. You own a piece of the property, so that's definitely
In other words, that's what they call own a piece of American dream.
yes, exactly.
Now I understand that you've been in the real estate industry for a while now, and one of the reasons that I believe that you want to do this show is to educate people. There's a big difference between rental and buying.
Yes.
So can you educate us, please?
Okay. When you rent a unit, you don't own anything. It's like you're renting the airspace, and you basically lease it for a year from the lease start date to the lease end date, and then and each place that you rent, it could be the same stipulation or it could be different, but most likely they're different. Some places include water, some don't. Some places they're strict and they have certain rules and regulations. Some are very not as strict. Renting, you're always giving your money to somebody else, to the landlord. And whenever you encounter maintenance, you always have someone to call and say, hey, you know what, the bathroom's not, it's not flushing, or the AC is not blowing cold, or it's not blowing hot, or you have an electrical issue, or the piece, whatever it is, you always have a landlord to call on to come fix these minor repairs. Now, when it comes to a house that you own, everything is your responsibility. That's if you own the house. It's different when you own a house that's by itself and you're not in an HOA community. By the way, HOA stands for Homeowners Association. Okay, there's a fee that you pay. When it comes to the grass or what have you, there are people that come out and cut the lawn or minor repairs. Same thing, and you can't alter the color of the building as we're at. If you do, I believe you have to get permission. Now, when it comes to you owning a house by itself somewhere else with no HOA, basically you don't live in a subdivision. Everything is your responsibility. Everything. This means from the roof to the grass, to plumbing issues, electrical issues, the roof issues, painting the house. Anything that goes wrong, it's up to you to fix that. But on the flip side, you own a piece of the American dream, which is land and property, and you have taxes you pay. I'm not too knowledgeable on that, but I will tell you what I'm knowledgeable in.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. When you buy a house, it becomes yours. And also for people who are watching the show, make sure when you purchase the house to go to their local courthouse or property appraiser there. You need to apply for what you call homestead property.
Yes.
The homestead, if it's your primary residence, you can apply for homestead, meaning that saves you a lot of money when it comes to property taxes. And also keep in mind when you whatever repair that you make inside your house, make sure you keep the receipt to provide it to your your accountant. So there's a bunch of benefits for owning your house.
Yes.
And I heard people saying that when they rent a property, even the water bill become higher, the electricity bill higher, instead of owning their own property. So
I would think
in some instance.
Well, I would think that depends on your usage. If you could, because you have to take into consideration who lives with you. If you're by yourself, then I'm thinking that you're using too much water. Because I'm by myself and I don't use that much water.
So that's when you try to tell me you only take a shower once a day or once a week?
I take a shower for 30 seconds. That's it.
30 seconds. No.
Oh no! Oh, twice a day, baby.
You say, I do. I take a 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's it.
No. But on a serious note, if your water bill gets increasingly higher, if your light bill gets increasingly higher, that means that you are. Well, you're in overconsumption of usage. Your lights on, I guess, all day, and also if you have a spouse and then you have kids, kids sometimes they're very forgetful. They want to get the shower, they want to play in it, they want to enjoy the hot water, vice versa, for a mother or a father, or if you're single father or a single mother, women, you like to get your hair washed, Want to make sure that's just squeaky clean. Man, same thing.
So you want them to go where to wash them? To
In the bathroom, but do what you gotta do. However, you know, be mindful that you're not renting, you're owning.
Right.
When you own, you pay everything. You know, it's
that
not
that includes one of the reasons why it would go up, right, is the grass. Because if you are a renter and the water is used, you know, it goes to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's
But
one of the reasons why.
even if the water goes to the owner,
Yeah.
you still need to be mindful
of course.
of
Yeah.
ways.
Right, right.
But the whole thing this show is to educate people
Yes.
between renting a property
and owning.
and own a piece of property.
Yes.
Because when you rent a property, you're paying somebody else's mortgage for them. And also, the level of privacy
Yes.
is not the same.
Yes.
And on top of that, when you own a piece of property, you do investment. The biggest investment you
Yes.
can make in your life is to own a piece of property. Let's say when you own a piece of property, after like 10 years from now, you should be able, when the property take value, let's say for example you buy a piece of property for $150,000. 10 years later, it worth like $200,000. And it's everybody's dream. I wish it was that fast, but
Right.
just an example. So you're talking about right now you have $50,000 worth of equity in your home. The equity that you have in your home is like cash. It's cash, pure cash. If you spend 10 years rent in a rental property, it's just like you dropping money, giving money away.
Right.
So it's always good for you to turn around, work on your credit, okay?
Mhm.
And all the things that you want to find out, the county where you live at, find out if there is assistance. That's mean first time buyer assistance program.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time buyer assistance program, find out that when you contact your mortgage broker, find out that if you can be qualified for the FHA program as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Okay.
The FHA program,
Yes.
the sum of the FHA program, you pay 3.5%
Yes.
down.
Yes.
3.5% down, and find out if the program is still available to help you with the closing costs.
Mhm.
And when you go purchase a house, rental property, there's no room to negotiate, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And some rental property, the only thing you can negotiate is you can say, okay, I want first, last, and security. Now, if you have good credit, decent credit, you can fight for you, instead of paying three money, you pay two. If you have a good credit, you might have a good credit, but the income is not there for you to buy the house.
Right.
But you need to make sure that you can, by having a good credit, you can negotiate instead of paying three, the security deposit, first and last. You can negotiate, but that's the only thing you can do. But because this is a rental market,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that much room.
Right.
Okay.
You don't have that much room because soon the property is in the market. Next thing you turn around, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the other hand, when it's come to buying a piece of property, you have, let's say, you have all your data in place. You have good credit,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the income. The best part, if you have, like, for example, 780, 790, 750 credit score, that's A plus credit.
Yes.
So, and also on top of that, if you have 6 months reserve sitting in your bank,
It's better.
you can walk to any bank, you can go to any mortgage broker and say,
Yes.
hey, listen, the buyer, you can negotiate with the buyer. You say, look, this is a sure deal. I can close. Even the realtor can go to the buyer and say, hey, I have an A plus credit, I have an A plus client, okay, and what this is what I need. I need for you to give me some money for the closing costs. Okay, you have the power to negotiate with the buyer, with the seller. You did, Mr. Seller, guess what? I can get your property off the market within 30 days. Okay? Because you walk in with a pre-qualified in your hand, with a good credit score, 6 months worth of reserve, any bank.
True.
This is what you call dream client. But
Yeah.
at the same time, when you do that, you have to do your homework at the same time.
You have to.
So that's what when you say to the person, listen, the good part being by buying a property, not only that, you got a piece of a property that's a biggest investment. Each time you pay your mortgage on time, you increase your credit score as well, because you know you need to have 3 lines of credit. And as a realtor, someone like that is a dream client.
Oh yeah.
Would you think so?
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely.
That's perfect right there.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Make my life 10 times.
So
easier.
anyone is in the market to buy a house, the first thing they need to do, first, mentally, are they ready to buy the house?
Yes, that's very, very important.
Mentally, are they ready to be a homeowner?
Yes.
Because especially if someone, there's another thing we need to cover also. Having someone, when it's come not only the credit alone, when you're going to borrow money when you buy the house, if your credit, you might have a perfect credit, but at the same time, you never purchase a big ticket item.
Yes, that's very prevalent.
That they take that in consideration as well. When you say, well, I have good credit, why you tell me, why my interest rate is going to be that high? But yes, you have good credit, you always purchase small ticket item. A house is a big ticket
A
item.
car.
That's why when talking about, are you mentally,
Yes.
this is what you call payment shock.
Right.
This is what you call payment shock, because you are someone who used to pay like 100. The maximum you used to pay in credit card every month is $100 or $200. Next thing you go into the person say, guess what? There's a $1,500 mortgage or $2,500. The person say, what? That's what you call payment shock.
Yes.
And the lender, the underwriter also is going to take that on consideration. Okay, what the biggest ticket item that the person, has in his credit score?
Oh yeah.
So, as a realtor, by the way, folks, I'm not a realtor, by the way. I'm not a...
I'm the realtor.
He's a realtor. I am the host who create, I create this program to educate the population.
Yes.
Because right now, it's crazy out there. Everybody, because they might because of what happened, the economic, so many people lost their job, and the owner of the property, they use it in a way to take advantage, of people. So therefore, by educate them, you can for you to bypass. If you don't have credit, this is the 3 ways. Go get 3 lines of credit. There's 3 lines of credit, meaning that you go to Sears, you go to Macy's. Get a credit.
Frank Union,
Yeah.
Experian.
Yeah, to
And
get
facts.
get a credit card, get a gas card when you start making payment. But if you don't have that, you can go to your local bank, get what you call secure credit card. It's just like you put the $1,000 or $500, open it, you say, I want to a secure credit card. The secure credit card, what happened, you using your own money.
Right.
You using your own money. That's mean at this time, the bank said, listen, you don't have any credit. You cannot prove that you're trustworthy. Now, I'm willing to give you a chance. I'm willing to give you a chance to use your own money to see how you manage your own money. That's what you call secure credit card is. For anyone that who does not have credit, say, hey, how can I build my credit so I can call Mr. Franz, who's a realtor, to help me?
And
How can I build my credit? So one of the things that you can acquire 3 credit card. When you start paying them, usually take maximum 6 months for you to bring your credit score up. Go ahead, sir.
yes, to add on to what you just said, when you get a secured credit card, or you have a bill under your name, make sure you pay the bill on time, and do not let no one tamper with your credit. And even when you have somebody on the bill with you or what have you, make sure that you are responsible for you, and no other way around. I don't care how you want to think of it, no other way around. If you have a cell phone or a secured credit card, or if you have the Comcast bill in your name, make sure that you are responsible. Because once you begin to have a mental process of irresponsibility, then your credit becomes or falls into delinquency, and you don't want that.
And when that happens, there's another process also when it's come to loan, borrowing money. When you pass due 30 days, you lose between 50 to 100 points on your credit. The credit score, your credit is a point system, meaning that when you start having bad credit, let's say when you go borrow money, instead of getting like 3% in the money that you borrow, or 4%, 5%, you're going to end up paying 7, 8% or more. That's mean when you in 30 years mortgage, that's when it's going to cost you thousands of dollars.
Yes, and that's something that you want to keep in mind, because if you're between the ages of maybe 17 and maybe 21, 23, and you're looking to rent, keep your credit gold to you, like your cell phone. Keep it gold to you, because you don't want to be frivolous with none of that stuff. Because if you are, it will bite you in the butt when you are ready to go rent your own place. Credit is very important. How you spend your money is very important. Financial responsibility is very, very important.
In the meantime, I'd like to say hello to Magda Bell, who's watching. I'd like to say a good shout to Franz Laurent, and also to Dan Israel, who just joined in. If you have any questions, and if you want to any question for Franz, who's a licensed realtor,
yes,
and we'll be more than happy to answer it for you.
Yes.
What we're discussing, the difference between being a renter and versus a buyer.
Yes,
As
so
everybody knows that this is a rental market, and we are doing our best to provide you with information so you they don't take advantage of you. First of all, for those who just start or just join us, remember, do your homework.
Yes.
For the rental, and if you don't have any credit, there's places, and also Mr. Franz can help you by providing you information how to fix your credit, how to work on your credit. I'd like for you he's going to give you his phone number so you can contact him. You don't have to be someone's ready to buy. You can be someone in the process, and you want to buy a piece of property. You were wondering, say, okay, first of all, am I ready? Secondly, do I have how much money do I need to buy a piece of property? And third one, what type of program is out there? First of all, if you don't know what program that your county has, you need to ask questions. First, does the county where I live, do they have assistance program for first-time buyer? Mm-hmm. Do they have a first-time buyer program there? The first-time buyer program is where your county to promote buying. So what they do, they give you a percentage. They give you assistance in your. They give you some money. And you have to be careful too if you participate in this kind of program where the county where you live, they give you money. That's what you call grant money. The grant money, yes, is free, but at the same time, there's there's something attached to it. You have to make sure when you participate in this program, when you go to the seminar to participate, you need to ask questions. Because let's say the county where you live give you like $20,000 or $30,000 to assist you buying your house, because you are a first-time buyer, and that's what they call it, first-time buying program. If they give you $30,000 and you buy your house, you have to be careful. You need to ask questions. When, if something happened, am I allowed to sell that house later on? How long it will take before I can sell the house? And let's say, for example, if I sell the house, pretty much is supposed to be mine. Am I responsible to pay that money back? All this type of question you need to ask that to make sure, because some government program in your county where you live, when they give you the money, they assist you to give you the money to buy your first home, you're not allowed to sell that house. You have to be very careful. When you call a realtor, you need to ask the realtor to check on that on you. Most realtors, they always have a mortgage broker to work with, because when you go to the realtor first, the realtor, what he does or what she does is to refer you to a mortgage broker. The mortgage broker in return, a licensed mortgage broker in return, what he or she will do is to pull your credit, number one. Secondly, to fill out an application called 1003. Okay? It's a loan application. That loan application, that's where the mortgage broker, collect a ton of information, After the mortgage broker fill out all the information, by law, they have to give you a good faith estimate within 3 days. Okay? Within 3 days, they need to give you a good faith estimate. That means when they, based on the document, based on the information the mortgage broker collect from you and send it deliver to a bank. That means they're trying to sell your loan to a bank, or they're trying to find out how much money, based on the information, based on your credit report, based on the place that you work, how much money you make, how much they're looking like, for example, liability, how much liability you have. Based on your liability, how much money you qualify to owe to get that house. Based on that, the underwriter make a decision. Okay, the loan, are you qualified? How much money you qualify for? And the interest rate, how much the interest rate, how high the interest rate is going to be. The interest rate, how much money you're going to pay for the loan, is based on your income and also your interest rate. All this information you need, the mortgage broker will collect it. After that, the mortgage broker also will give you what you call a pre-qualified letter. With that pre-qualified letter, you're going to take it to your mortgage, to your realtor. With that realtor, with that pre-qualified letter, the realtor say, hey, this guy is not going, okay, this lady is not going to waste my time. Because the realtor is going to keep driving around until find you a good home. But now, a good experience, smart realtor, the first thing they will do, he or she will do, is to ask you, do you have an email address? They will send you a few homes based on your criteria, based on where you want to buy the place, and based on how much you qualify for. That will minimize the driving, the time they spend driving around. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Please take over.
As you said, these things are very, very crucial. It's going to minimize time wasted. You know, I could show you maybe 4 or 5 properties, and you like 3 out of 5. You know, and you want to know which one you fall in love with. the one you fall in love with, make sure your pocket falls in love with it too. You know, it's very, very important because sometimes your emotion may overpower how much you think you could pay.
Right.
You know, you want to make sure that you have your man cave.
In other words, your eyes might be bigger than your pocket.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and you don't want to make that kind of mistake because you have nice houses, but your money got to be nice too. As smoothly as I'm saying it, in reality, it has to match it because when you buy a dream house, that's what you live in. That, you know, your house in turn becomes your home. That's where you will be, you know, for the rest of your life, if you will. You know, it has to be home, a place that you can call home. You know, a place of tranquility. And even when it's your first time, it's an emotional thing for you, and it's a big ticket item. It's the biggest purchase that you'll probably make in your lifetime. You know, mortgage. You know, that's when real bills come in.
Yeah.
Aside from renting, real bills.
And also, you need to be careful where you purchase.
Yes.
That's where you want to live.
Yes.
Like 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yes.
Because you sign a contract for 30 years.
Yes.
And you're going to have children.
Yes.
Is the school area, is the school that you want to raise? Is the neighborhood that you find out if it's family friendly?
Yes.
All this thing you need to find out. And how far from the airport?
Yes.
How far from the train station?
Yes.
The neighborhood you have to visit day and night to find out if the place people is going to hang out.
Right.
Is there a liquor store nearby?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whenever there's liquor, alcohol somewhere, there's trouble.
Yeah.
And you have to do your homework also.
Yes.
With the local sheriff to find the crime rates, all these things.
Yes, and these things are very, very important, and especially if you have kids, and it matters too if you're a young couple or an old couple. Young couples tend to, you know, they want to go out, they don't want to stay home all day, you know, whereas older couples, they, you know, like they kind of...
They don't like noise.
Right,
Yeah.
and they want quiet. Like, for example, myself, where I live at, I go to sleep to quiet and I wake up to quiet. For a lot of folks, they want the same thing too. They want somewhere nice, no trouble.
And young folks want excitement.
Yes.
If there's a swimming pool, is there swimming pool?
Right.
Is there visit the swimming pool to see during the day, weekends, what type of people in the swimming pool? And also, do you looking for a mixed use, a multicultural place?
Yes,
you know what I mean? All the same thing. So, I mean, there's a lot for people to think before they decide to say, I'm going to rent a place. When you're renting a place, technically, you don't have that.
Some things you have luxury of, and some things that you don't. That's why whenever I go to any person, you know, I ask them, hey, you know what? Do you know anyone looking to own or rent? You know, and they say, well, yeah, I'm looking to own. And then, you know, I kind of like do a pre-screen process, and then, you know, I see, you know, hey, what's your credit like? What's your income like? And then, if you're ready to own, then, you know, we'll do a pre-qual process. But for someone that has never owned, it's a big step, big deal, more questions to ask. Then I will have to get personal with you. Don't take no offense, but it's just me doing my job, you know. If you want greatness, then, you know, you have to give me cooperation. You know, because I'm trying to find you what you want, but again, make sure your pockets match what you want to.
Let me say hello to Merlin Pierre. Welcome to US Discovery Talent Radio. We promote, we educate the population, we pretty much to help them make the right decision. Welcome, Merlin.
Thanks for joining. You know, again,
thank you.
We just had someone new come on. My name is Franz Benjamin, licensed realtor here in the Greater Palm Beach area. I've been licensed under a year. The other thing that I want to mention to you is if you have any questions in regards to a rental unit or credit or owning a piece of land, you can reach me at 561-255-4244. Again, 255-4244. And feel free to shoot me an email if you will. Franz, that's Frantz. Last name Benjamin, BenJamin @yahoo.com. I have a lot of answers to questions that you may have. Even if I can't get it, I'll know where to get it. We're just basically talking about the difference between renting versus buying. Two big different things. When you rent, you give somebody else your money. You own, well, you don't own no space.
What's your phone number again, sir?
My number again is 561. That's 561. That's local.
561.
Yes, for West Palm Beach. 255.
255
42
42
44.
44.
Yes, sir.
So anyone who has any questions, please
Yes.
call Franz.
Yes.
It's Frantz.
Yes, sir.
Call Franz. He'll be more than happy to work with you and to educate you.
Yes, and
But
I
I don't want to keep you for too long, sir. I know you volunteer your time. You have anything to when is the next time?
Next Saturday again.
Next Saturday. What
Yeah.
time?
From I would say from 4 to 5.
Okay.
So I'll be here at 4, and then I'll end at 5.
I'd like for you next Saturday when you come to see if you can cover short sale.
Short sale, okay.
Short sale. Why do people who own property, why they short sell their property, the reason why, and also what's the difference, if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know too much about it, but when it comes to short sale, and you can chime in, short sale is when.
But next week. Okay,
no
we're not going to ask you for
No
now.
problem.
I say this is something we need to cover next week because there's a ton of people right now who still have property in their hand. They stop. The bank, some of them they were put on loan modification, but the
It's too
situation
high.
it's still too high and they can't keep up with it. They're willing to let it go instead of them walk away. We want to educate them the best course of action.
Yes.
Instead of walking away, if they can place it to short sell.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what we try to educate them.
Sounds good. Folks, once again, I'm a licensed realtor in West Palm Beach. My number is 561-255-4244. Or text me, or you can email me at frantzbenjamin@yahoo.com. I'm also on Facebook, Franz Benjamin. Instagram, Franz Benjamin. Catch me anywhere. Don't be afraid to ask. I have answers to questions. If I can't answer it, I'll find someone who can answer it for you. The most important thing when it comes to renting or buying is education, education, education. Before you even, start shopping or looking for a place to rent, educate yourself on, hey, you know what? Are you ready to rent? And are you ready to buy? Ask yourself that first before anything. And when it comes to buying, ask yourself if you're ready to buy. Renting, same thing. Till next time, have a good day.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who thank you for being part of this show. Please don't go anywhere. There is another show that will be coming less than 10 minutes. We're going to talk about a different subject, and I know you guys is going to help you a lot. Remember Discovery Talent Radio, US Discovery Talent Radio. This is a program we put together to educate the population, to educate people, and this is the best part when the program there, if you are searching for something, if you have question, you don't have the answer, contact us at info@discoveryidols.com, And also, me personally, I'm the general manager. You can call me at 561-541-1878. I can put any shows that you want to educate you. The radio is a community radio. So as you can see, anyone who has talent, we try to promote them. The criteria we request for, if it's a business owner, if it's you provide a community service, I require for you to be honest and do good to people. Don't take advantage of them. As long as you can abide by this rule, you're honest, I'll be more than happy to talk about you, to let people in the social media know who you are. And also, if you're an artist, you can go to www.discoveryidols.com. We'll promote your talents worldwide. What we request for you to keep pushing yourself while we're pushing you. We spend money in promoting people who have talent. You don't pay us, but if you have, for example, you have your music, you have a video, you must go to www.discoveryidols.com. As a matter of fact, if you look, there's the pictures right there. You can click on the picture, it will take you directly there. You need to fill, if you're a single artist, you need to fill out the application. That's mean the registration form for the single artist. Yes, you must pay one-time registration fees, which is $99.99. One time. You don't pay anything else. And also we promote you worldwide. You can go to YouTube, you'll see us. We play your music on our radio station. And also if your video as well. And also if you go to every single social media, you type the company's name, Discovery Idols, you see all the artists that we promote. We have partners overseas where the partners also, we do cross-cultural promotion. We promote the artists from the country here, they promote our artists of the country. So we do our best to pretty much help you. Let's say, welcome back. We have Maggie. From Maggie, I'd like to say hello to you. Welcome. Even though you come at the end of the show, welcome. Please don't go anywhere. There's another show where it's going to be really hot. We're going to talk about two subjects, very, very hot in the community. There's one is going to be about the dreamers. We're going to provide the information. And also the first one is going to be about people who have talent. We're going to give you information so you can better yourself, you can protect yourself, and you can pretty much make it in the entertainment industry. So we're going to provide you good information. Make sure you get your pen and papers so you can get information. And also for some of you who have been looking for entertainment law firm, I'm going to give you all the information, and also what it will take, what do you need to make it. Okay, remember, US Discovery Talent Radio is a community radio. We promote people who have talent, we promote local business owners. As long as they're doing good to the community, as long as they're doing something good, we help them. And also, you're going to meet one of the local artists. This guy is genius. So please don't go anywhere. We'll see you very soon. Don't go anywhere. Okay? Even so, we disconnect. We're going to reconnect immediately. So don't go anywhere. I like to see everyone. And also, if you want to participate in the next segment, please feel free. Feel free to post your comment, and also you're welcome to share whatever show. If you want to see other shows that we did, you can go to Facebook, to YouTube. Go to YouTube, type US Discovery Talent Radio. You see all the shows that we did in the past. Or you can go, if you want to watch all the best artists, you can go to thank you for the love. I feel it. You can go to Discovery, US Discovery Talent Radio. You see all the shows. All the show that we do here is 100% education. And if you're having hard time in your relationship, we have licensed psychologists who there to, we do a show there, and we have every Thursday we have a licensed coach, relationship licensed coach there. If you want, it starts from 8 to 10. You're welcome to participate. And if you have issues with immigration, this show is coming here right now. It's about immigration. We're going to do the artist first. After that, the immigration. We're going to give you all information. Keep in mind, when we do this show is not, don't take it as legal advice. When we give you information, your job is for you to take whatever information we share with you, for you to take it to a licensed attorney bar. We can ask questions, find out exactly, hey, I get some good information, I want to double check it, what can I do? Especially when we're doing the show on immigration, we provide you, we bring you the information. It's your job for you to double check it. The information we give you is not controlled for legal advice. We're not giving you legal advice. We're not lawyers. We're not giving you legal advice. We just give you the information. It's for you to turn around, go find an immigration attorney to help you out. Same thing when it's come to music. We're going to give you a ton of information that will help you, especially if you have talent. You want to know what it takes, what you need for you to cross it. I've been in the music industry for so long. My job, I'm the general manager for Discovery Idols, sir. Discovery Idols, Discovery Idols, okay, for Discovery Idols. So let me close the show. I have this gentleman who needs to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back. Few seconds.
Roger, I got you.